Castbound is one of the best rods you can actually get as a starting step in the Venue Takeover event. Besides its crazy stats, it has a crazy list of 15 rods to be required to fully complete it. It is completely worth it, and it's probably one of my new favorite ones, and today I'll be trying to go through each of the required rods one by one and exactly how to get them. So we're gonna be starting off in the Moosewood village. You'll probably start off with the restricted version of the Castbound Rod after completing the first couple of quests. We're gonna move to the Flimsy and Carbon Rod, and this is exactly where you get them, by this merchant, pretty much in the exact same spot. They don't cost much and they don't have a level requirement. So that's your first two ticked off the list. Next up is the Steady Rod in the Roslit Bay area. Once you arrive at the docks, make your way left towards the blacksmith, and next to him you'll find your Steady Rod. Pretty simple, pretty cheap, no level requirements. Next on our list is the Artic Rod, which is still pretty simple but requires a bit more traveling. If you have your traveler whistles on you from the traveling merchant, you can just make your way to the northern summit, and it doesn't have, I believe, any requirements. Otherwise, you can just make your way to the northern expedition, and once you arrive at the northern summit, you can find your Artic Rod just right here. This is probably the side you're going to be arriving from, so it's pretty much on the dot where you arrive. Next up is the Mythical Rod that you can actually get once again from the traveling merchant, but it involves a bit of RNG luck. They spawn pretty much around any of the starting docks, varying from Moosewood to Roslit, I think Forsaken Shores, and it's RNG based, so just look for it. Sorry for the messed up order here, but I was already at Northern Expedition and I just wanted to get this one out of the way. This one takes a bit of while to get it, and I'll link my separate guide to obtaining the Heaven's Rod, but this is basically the last part of it. So once you activate all the crystals, this sort of cave will open up and you can make your way down here to get your Heaven's Rod. This is after completing previous 4 steps, and it costs a bit more cash to get it, and the rod is expensive too. I'll also mention the level requirement which this rod has, and it's level 220, and if you're wondering why I'm mentioning it, it's because you might not only watch this just for the Castbound. Back to the normal order and the Trident Rod. Making our way to the Sunstone Island, this little mahi abundant spot. We just kind of want to move towards the north of the compass, maybe a little bit to the side towards northeast until we get to this buoy. Hey, it's not a boy, it's buoy. From here on, you want to make sure you have some diving gear, maybe some flippers or a frostbreaker like I do in my case, and just fully dive down. At this intersection, you're going to be wanting to go right and just swim past all the mines. You don't have to complete the previous quest because we're not going into the, I think it's called the Luminous caves. You'll need it later, but not for now. So for the current step, we're just moving up to the Desolate Deep and just make your way through this cave. In the center island, you don't actually have to do much. All you want to do is make sure that you have 100% bestiary completion. And I think the biggest point to focus on here, what you might be spending the most time on, is the sea mine. This one can only be caught with crab cages, and now we have multiple ones, so make sure you utilize those. I don't have much other advice for it, just spend some time and you should be catching it. After you got your 100% bestiary completion, you kind of want to move over to this like stone or like a pillar area and look for these bones in the water. And then you're gonna dive down pretty much by the last one of them. I'm sorry if you can't see it too well, but this is what we're trying to go through, and just follow along the cave. You really can't get lost, and you just want to make all your way up and just dive out. This is the part where we have another requirement to complete and open up the doors. So this one requires us to have 5 regular enchant relics. You can buy them from the daily shop from Merlin, obtain them, somebody can give it to you, doesn't matter. Basically place 5 of these enchant relics down, then you get to enjoy this amazing animation, even with all the VFX turned down for video quality. But once that's done, the sort of cave will slowly open up with massive rumbling sounds, and at the end of it you'll be able to find your Trident Rod. It's also kind of on the expensive side, but you do use it for a couple more quests in the future. Next up, we have the Rod of the Depths. As the name implies, we're going to be going to the depths, and once again we'll need 100% bestiary completion to be able to obtain the rod. But there's also another couple of requirements. One of them is having 2 enchant relics with the specific mutations, one of them being the abyssal, the other is hexed. You can see me showing them off just right here, and the way to obtain them is interesting because I chose the way of enchanting my rod, and you can see a short clip that's really sped up of trying to get the abyssal mutation on it, but you can actually just get it from a friend, buy it, trade for it, doesn't matter, or you can just go with the same route and try to obtain it. It didn't take me that long, and here's a clip of me showing how it looks like when you catch it. I don't know how actual it is for you, but here you have it. And then next up is the hexed. I think the easiest way to get it is by using the no life rod. I can't remember what level requirement it is to get it, but here's a clip of me getting pushed off by my cat. Once you have both of these relics, you'll want to make your way up this waterfall, and just to the left of it you'll be able to find this, I think it's called a pedestal, or like, I don't know, whatever, a place to put up your enchant relic. So the red one will take the hexed one, and if you look just over the edge straight ahead, you'll see where the abyssal one will go. So in your inventory, look for the hexed enchant relic, plop that one down, and then straight up without missing a queue, you can actually just jump down and look for your abyssal one and place it down too. After that's done, the sort of gate, hatch, whatever area will open up and you'll be able to go down. Now I did some testing and you can actually, so to say, mess up and respawn, and this hatch will not actually close up. So what you'll see me doing next is going through the maze. I actually sped it up by quite a bit, and it's also recommended to have at least the advanced diving gear because it might be lost here for a little while. I don't have a full guide for it, but following through with my sped up footage, I hope you can tag along and kind of follow where I went. I think the guides say follow like red or the blue crystals, but I just kind of try to stick to the left until I hit this area where you go through like a gap, and it wasn't the correct way. So I kind of backtracked a little bit and then swam through it until I found the area with some seaweeds, I believe. Once you find these, you kind of made your way through. Just get up there and you'll find your Rod of the Depths. Once again, make sure you have 100% of the depths completion. Doesn't matter about the sparkling or shiny, anything like that. It's just the regular completion of the bestiary. And if you're confused as to how can you actually get out, just behind the statue, there's a path that you can take and jump into a whirlpool and actually make your way out of it, and you'll respawn back at the vertigo. The Rod of the Forgotten Fang, however, requires crafting, and to unlock crafting you need to unlock Ancient Archives. Activate your Eclipse Totem at the top of the Ancient Isles and pick up a relic. Then move to the side of it where you will find this cave that you can head inside of and pick up another relic. We got 2 more relics left, and then we're gonna make our way to the other side of the island where we can go to this waterfall and dive down and pick up another relic. This is also the spot where you get your 4th relic, that's the ancient relic, and you'll also be able to fish for your crafting parts in this exact area. I'll switch on the VFX a bit later so you can see the waterfall, but that's pretty much where it's located. Once you have all 4 of your relics, head behind the waterfall, so that's just a little bit up, where you'll find this sort of trap hole that you can go down using the rope. For this next part, you don't need to have any totems active, and you just place down your relics pretty much by color. I'm sure you'll be able to figure that one out. It doesn't take much, but you just do it one by one, and you can actually do it solo these days. So you no longer need 4 people if you're afraid that you won't be able to do it. That's why I filmed this, and I actually did it solo, and I have a separate short all about it. But once all 4 of these relics are placed, you actually need to once again make sure that the solar eclipse totem is active, because you'll need to be able to rotate them. And once you'll place them down, you'll be given the option to just kind of press and hold down E just to rotate them. The way it works is you just keep rotating the totems until the sort of specific areas around the door light up, as you'll see me doing right here. I just twist it once and bam, it lights up. I did it for all 4 of them, and then the gate is open. Once you make your way to the end of the hall, you'll be able to get access to the crafting bench. This is me showcasing what it looks like and sort of what materials you need to find. All of these can be caught just by the waterfall. Once you caught them, make your way back, you craft a rod, you get some lunar thread from your daily merchant, bada bing bada boom, that's done. Tempest Rod, you'll move to Atlantis and you'll need to do this puzzle. We came up with this sort of code word that you just use. We use the word groan, and you just kind of press the letters in that order. I do the same, and that's it. The cave will open up and you'll be able to obtain your rod. It's pretty straightforward and it doesn't take much. Next up is the Zeus Rod. One part will require you a bit of parkour, and you'll basically pick either one side or the other side, and the rock will just fall down and you'll have the correct path. I just use the glider. You see the code at the end. Once you reach it, remember that, because you'll need it to obtain the Zeus's Rod. Second part is like the green light, red light game, where you kind of just wait for the statue to turn around, move up. Once it turns around facing you, you stop. And you do that. At the end of it, once again, you'll find the code, remember it, make your way to the last door, type in the code, and that's where you'll obtain your Zeus's Rod. The prismatic one, I also sadly don't have a full guide for. Just use the code temporary submarine to obtain your submarine and just make your way through the Mariana's Whale. Pretty much at the end of it, or near the end of it, you'll require 100% completion for that area, and you'll be able to obtain your Ethereal Prism Rod. If people need it, I'll make a full guide for it. I have a couple of shorts just to get you started, but that's how you get it. Next up, we have the Free Spirit Rod, and we're actually making our way back to Sunstone Island once again. We're gonna talk to Merlin and ask for him to enter the chasm. You'll get a buff, and pretty much straight after that, you just head behind his hut and dive down into the sort of crevice or like a lit up area, and you'll be teleported inside of a cave. You will need 100% bestiary completion for this cave, and once you do that and you caught all the fish, which isn't much, but this is where you head through inside of this like hidden crevice just next to the train tracks, and at the end of it, you'll be able to find the rod. To get the Great Rod of Oscar, we'll actually have to start a bit of a side quest. So starting off here in the Forsaken Shores, we're going to make our way inside of the Skull Cave. There we're going to find a pirate that we need to talk to that will give us a quest of finding an amulet. Obviously I have completed this one already, but this is sort of where path where you head up. And once you make your way up, after talking to this guy named Deadman Joe, he'll ask you to find an amulet for him. Get back in your boat, and then we're gonna be making our way to the Grand Reef. So it's pretty close by. We just got out of the Forsaken Shores. We made our way to the Grand Reef. Pretty much as soon as you enter, you're gonna be to stick to kind of the middle island where you can see the shipwright is just right here. And once again, I have it picked up, but the amulet should be, I believe, on this boat, if there's not another one. But yeah, that's where you'll find your amulet. This is what it's gonna look like. Nothing really too crazy or too special. This will be a requirement to enter, I think it's called like the Dead Man's Locker or something like Oscar's Locker. So let's move on to the location of the rod. So we made our way to the Terrapin Island. As you can see, we're pretty much a bit to the right from the dock, where this weird formation of what seems like a moon, like a half moon looks like. Basically look for this guy fishing if you don't have the fishing radar, but obviously you should have one if you're trying to get the rod. So from this point on, pretty much align yourself in the middle so you can head out. And you kind of want to stick towards like the south, maybe just a little bit to the southeast where the arrow is pointing. And kind of keep to this direction. I'd say if you can pan the camera down, and once you'll see, like once you reach kind of the edge of the sandbank, just below it you should be able to see like a bunch of rocks. You can't really see it too well, there's like an outline of this where I'm standing, but yeah, this is basically where you're gonna be wanting to head down into. I don't think you specifically need any like gear, but I think it's recommended that you have the flippers and then that you also have the advanced diving gear. So I'm gonna be using the Frostbreaker. If you have your submarine, which you can actually get for free, I have a separate source for that. There's a code you can use. I can't remember now. I think it's called Temporary Submarine. You can use that instead and dive down using it, but you don't actually need it, and you can just do it with your Frostbreaker. It is a bit of a long cave, but basically if you just keep diving down, it shouldn't take you too long, and you shouldn't actually run out of oxygen. And there we go. Once we make our way here, you're gonna end up inside this cave. I don't think there's like much to do actually, like exploration wise, but there's like a door that you'll have right here. I believe it will be closed for you, so if you just go ahead and equip your amulet, you can see here when I have it unequipped, it will come up with this like greenish barrier that actually kills you. So don't do that. Equip your amulet and then you'll be able to go through. And we're back with our amulet equipped, so make sure you have it on while entering the cave, because I just checked it and it actually doesn't work that well if you don't have it equipped. So before you go down into this cave, make sure you have your amulet on you. And yeah, then this barrier will be gone. You'll be able to enter the cave and you can grab the Great Rod of Oscar for 2.5 million. Finally, we're up to the Ruinous Oath, and we're inside the Crimson Cave, and if we have a look and we try and buy it, you can see that I'll need to have completed the full bestiary of Shiny and Sparkling. I don't have a full guide for it, but I'll try to make up one. If you don't find it, I'm sorry. It will probably come a bit later, but this already has gotten too long. My short advice is, instead of trying to catch them one by one, so the Shiny or Sparkling or both Shiny and Sparkling, instead catch all of the fishes and just take them to the appraiser. That way, if you use the Shiny or the Sparkling totems, you can spend just a little bit of time. It maybe took me, I don't know, 15 minutes, as you can see from the bestiary log, to get all of them to either Shiny or Sparkling or both. After that's done, you'll be able to obtain the Ruinous Oath, which is actually a really good rod, and I'm happy that I had to get it just because of the quest. I never got the patience to do it, and my friend told me to just appraise it. Once that's done, you can make your way back to the venue. You can see we have all the rods collected. Talk to this little guy, you'll get a nice new title, and your rod will now be fully unrestricted. Here I'll be showing off the stats, and as you can see, it's fully unrestricted. It's actually really good. I put up a couple enchants on it. I think I just got like a random mystical on it, and it works really well for a lot of the stuff, including the Wrath of the Olympus update, where some rods are actually required to obtain the rest of the rods in this Venue Takeover update. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe. See you next time.